Is that how you salute, soldier? Or are you swatting flies? The officer's voice rang across the training field, loud enough to stop conversations mid-sentence. All heads turned toward the petite woman standing stiffly at attention in full uniform, her hand still raised in a perfect salute. Her face didn't twitch. She didn't blink. She held the pose. The officer walked up, puffed out and smirked. "You're in the wrong place, Corporal. This field's for combat instructors, not clerks playing dress-up." Laughter broke out among the younger recruits, uncertain, nervously glancing between the two. The woman didn't speak. She slowly dropped her hand, then turned to face the soldiers standing silently behind her, tall, muscle-cut, faces chiseled by war and wind. That's when the officer's smile started to fade. The group standing at parade rest behind her weren't just trainees. They were special forces, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, even a Delta operator or two. Hardened men who moved like wolves, not rookies. Their eyes hadn't left her for a second. The officer turned back. "Who the hell are you?" She reached into her jacket pocket and pulled out a laminated folder. No flair, no drama, just precision. She handed it to him. "Major Elena Kessler, Lead Tactical Instructor, Joint Special Operations Command. You've been standing on my field for 10 minutes. The color drained from his face. He opened the folder. Her credentials were stacked with ribbons, classified attachments. Operation names that whispered history: Benghazi, Ramadi, Zaranj. She didn't just serve, she trained the ones who survived when no one else did. I wasn't informed," he stuttered. She cut him off, voice calm but sharp enough to split stones. "You didn't ask." The recruits stood in silence now, unsure of where to look. One of the Special Forces men behind her stepped forward, big, bearded and brutal-looking. His name patch read Stone. He snapped a perfect salute to Eleanor, eyes locked on hers. "Permission to speak, ma'am." "Granted." He turned to the officer. "Sir, if it wasn't for Major Kessler, I'd have bled out behind enemy lines in Helmand. She taught me how to stop arterial bleeding with one hand while shooting with the other." Another stepped forward. "She taught us to think faster, shoot cleaner, and lead smarter. She taught us to stay alive." The officer's mouth opened, but no words came out. Eleanor looked him over once more, then turned to her team. "Form up." They moved instantly, falling into two clean rows. The officer stood aside, now a ghost on his own base. As they marched past, no one saluted him. Back in the barracks, someone asked Elena why she never snapped at people like that, why she always stayed calm, even when disrespected. She looked up from her gear bag, eyes tired but fierce. "Because anger wastes time, and if there's one thing you don't get back in combat, it's time." They fell quiet after that. Eleanor's story wasn't in the headlines. She didn't have medals plastered on her chest like others. But behind closed doors, generals asked for her by name. Her methods were used in 9 countries. She was the first female lead trainer in a unit that had rejected women for decades. Not because of quotas, because she earned every inch. Years ago, in a training op in northern Syria, her convoy was ambushed. Everyone thought the mission was lost. Communications down. Backup hours away. She regrouped her team, set a counter-ambush, and led them on foot through enemy territory for 2 days until they reached extraction. No casualties. When asked how she pulled it off, she said, "I made them believe failure was dead." So they stopped fearing it. Now, as her name echoed through base halls, the officer who mocked her was never seen in her drills again. He transferred within the month, but her team stayed, stronger, sharper. They ran extra laps. They asked deeper questions. Because respect isn't taught in manuals, it's witnessed. 1 month later, the same unit was deployed. Operation details classified. But when they returned, their report read one thing: all objectives complete, 0 casualties, thanks to Kessler's prep. At graduation, she didn't give a speech. She just stood at attention while every single soldier saluted her, some with tears in their eyes, others with scars across their cheeks. She nodded once. As they filed out, one recruit whispered, "That officer thought you were just another face." She smirked. Then he finally saw the spine. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story lit a fire in you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.